Hey everybody, Mark Herman, aka LA Bengals fan on most of the major platforms, and we got a full house tonight. I'm joined here by both Devin and Jake Circus. Jake Circus of the Jake Circus podcast, and super fans Heath Goldman and Riley Goldman and Riley Sports Balls on Twitter, or the app formerly known as Twitter. And this is the Week 9 recap of Jungle Talk. Who Day. And
Who Day.
Hey, you know what? We got it. We get to do we get to blow the victory horn and we get the Mighty Ducks quacker. But I want to point out 4-0 in the second quarter of the season. 4-0. So there you go. So, great, big win. We needed this. There you go. So, before we get started, if you don't subscribe, please subscribe. This show's by fans, for fans. That's all we ask. Just support the channel. Subscribe, hit the bell so you get the alerts, and give us the thumbs up. Helps us out with the analytics at YouTube. And Jake, you do some great podcasts. Tell them where they can find your podcasts.
Jake Circus Podcast, Spotify, Monday and Wednesday. We're bringing in the gambling show back next week, so we'll be back for 3 episodes a week. I'm on a heater right now, so I kind of have to bring that back.
There you go.
I feel like that would be bad if I'm on a heater, don't do the pod.
He gave us a Kansas State winner this week. Kansas State in 4. It was close there, but
it wasn't easy.
When they went for the 2-pointer to win, or went for the touchdown in overtime, you knew that you were at least going to cover. Kansas State lost. So only Kansas State fans cared. Us gamblers, we were good. So all good. Hey, Riley, tell them where they can find you on Twitter.
At Sportsball with 3 L's at the end, just posting general content. I'm going to start posting consistently now that midterms are over.
All right. Well, Jake followers, followers on Twitter, start following. He's going to be tagged on the Twitter post. So start following Riley. Does everybody have a drink? Where's everybody's drink?
I'm sticking with water tonight. I had enough pictures during the game, but you can also follow my dad on Twitter if you want to learn medieval ways of football thinking from 1945, if you want that information.
Do you see that jab? The son jabbing the father there. Oh, that's cold, man. Still, I'm going to still drink this tequila. Who's got the drink out? Let's go. Let's do it. Cheers. Victory time.
Good day.
Hey.
I love drinking Don Julio after the game, after a win, where I'm not drowning my sorrows, but it's a rejoiceful shot. So, all right, well, this game started out perfect. I mean, we score on our first 2 drives, hold the Bills on their second or third possession. Everything's going great, and then we get to this. We intercept the ball. CTB gets the pick, right? This is like the one negative, so I want to get it out of the way. We get the ball, and we get down to a 2nd and 1, and all of a sudden we're at like a 3rd and 25. I mean, we got nothing. We ended up punting it back right where they started, and I was like, it was just a missed possession. And all that followed where they said the Bengals were the least penalized team in football. They had only 4.5 penalties, but we it was like 3 consecutive penalties, holding and motion, and we cheated ourselves out of a field goal right there. So that was very frustrating. I wrote down here, how do we go from a 2nd and 1 at the 23 and turn it into a 3rd and 25 where we had to punt? And that's exactly what.
There were a couple times, I think it was 2, maybe 3 times in the game where we had 2nd and less than 1. And one time that time that you're talking about, we snuck Burrow. Another time Mixon did get it, and we were on the plus side of the field when Mixon ran it. But there, in my opinion, there's nothing dumber than a 2nd and 1 run, 2nd and inches run. You've got 2 other downs to get it.
Yes,
go for it. Take a stab there, and both called for
that. With Zach Taylor, you only have 1 more chance to get it.
No, but let me something else that you pointed out. We quarterback sneak Joe Burrow. What the hell are we doing? I don't want the tush push, the fill, the brotherly.
You have to. He's fine. You have to play the game. He's 100%.
You know what?
I want to sneak it. I want to sneak it again on 3rd and 1.
That's what I said. I said sneak it again on 3rd down.
My attitude is we don't throw Joe to the wolves. I know that they love to do that in Philly. And one of these games, Jalen Hurts is going to come out of the pile limping. It's
the whole sneak thing is it's not just what Philly does. Like they do it above and beyond because they can go for it on their own 25 like they did today and get it.
Yeah.
Like the sneak works, like it works. And if it doesn't work, try it again.
I agree.
Right.
But
So
the second and one failure was very reminiscent on what happened in the Super Bowl when they had 2nd and 1 for midfield and they gave it to Samaje Perine on 3rd down and
then didn't make
Yeah.
4th. And yes, you have to bring that up. Well, Heath and I were there to watch that live. So was Riley.
Mark, you said I want to make one other negative comment, or we'll talk about one other negative.
I want to get the negative out of the way. Go ahead. Yeah.
So just too many missed tackles
Oh yeah.
again. I mean, we keep talking about it, and just we had them down, he might have been Diggs for 5 yards, and the next thing you know, it's a 35 or 40 yards, and it can change the complexion of a game.
That was on Turner. That was on Turner. He tried to tackle Diggs with his arms. He just kind of reached out and he was from behind trying to it was all arms, and then a bunch of missed tackles. The drive we gave up the touchdown, it was too easy. It just was too easy.
I'll counter that. I mean, you're 100% right. That Diggs play never should have been that long, but I mean, this is a potent offense. They scored 10 points through 3.5 quarters, and their last touchdown came in arguably garbage time. They scored on the first and last drive of the game, and that's it. I thought the defense was pretty phenomenal tonight.
Oh,
and
no, the defense was excellent.
100%.
Now, we were kind of had pressure, but we didn't have very many sacks. We didn't make Josh Allen uncomfortable in the pocket. I mean, look, he gets out of the pocket well, and he scrambled a bunch for plus yardage, but we didn't dominate. I don't think we dominated the pocket, but yet we dominated them defensively.
Well, they kept the
I
two linebackers
disagree.
in as spotters.
I disagree. I feel like Josh was running. I don't think Josh was making throws in the pocket at all. Now, part of that is, again, when the Bills face good teams, they don't have a wide receiver too. I'll say it every single week. I don't care how much you play fantasy. Gabe Davis sucks. He's awful. And he did, again, nothing tonight. When they play good teams, it's not there, and Josh has to play hero ball, and I thought that's what happened. I thought Trey was fine. Hubbard a couple times got loose. The interior pressure actually from BJ and DJ was really good, I thought, tonight.
BJ and DJ Hale had huge games.
It's a tough matchup. As much as I'll shit on Josh Allen, he's hard to prepare for, and he's a tough matchup because even if you do win your rep, he's still going to break a first tackle. And that's where you want him to be because you trust the guys in the back end to stay with their guys, especially when they have one good player running a route and not 3 like what we have. So that's what you want to see from Josh Allen. I thought he was off script a lot tonight, and he averaged 5 yards a carry, which is very, very good on defense. And I thought that, if you ask Lou, besides, yes, allowing 10 points outside of what I call Josh Allen time, which is down 2 scores in the fourth quarter, I think Lou would tell you that the guys were up to script and they did their job and did exactly what was asked of them, if on all 3 levels.
Yeah, we had Josh Allen do when he ran in for the touchdown, pointing to Nick Scott because he got Nick Scott up in the air, and then he had to taunt him and cost him 15 yards. So
he's such a shithead. God, I hate that guy.
Don't hold back, Jake. What do you really
the down 14, 8 minutes left? That was widely known as the Kirk Cousins time. Fuck, man, that's Josh Allen time. He's awesome in that part of the game. That's where he shines. He's great and down 2 scores. He's the best quarterback in the league down 2 scores.
No, for those of us who were bashing T, saying, "Oh, he's not worth the money" and all that stuff, this was a T Higgins game, man. Chase hurt his back, and he did his job. He was out there as a decoy on a couple of the tight end catches. It was Chase acting like he was getting the screen, pulling the coverage towards him, even though we knew his back wasn't 100%. So, and T,
all right, let's talk about it.
Wait, hang on. He also had one big reception after he got hurt.
Yes, he did.
He did.
But this was a T Higgins game. He was huge. If there's any way we can figure out how to keep him, maybe he wants to be part of something better. Yeah, you can get more money in Chicago, but you can also play relevant games in the postseason if you stay.
I don't think it's
here. So
I don't think it's out of the question. Like, I don't want to talk about that right now. I mean,
I know
he
we'll
had a
talk
great
about that
game.
at the end of the year, but I'm just saying he showed you when one
Yeah.
of them is not up, is not gets dinged a little bit and isn't able to do what they usually do. Having a second number one to go to, it was huge. Burrow turned to him all game long. So
Well, we saw that on the first drive, like even the scripted plays, Hudson, Sample, Mixon, Irv,
Mhm.
like those plays were scripted. Those were Burrow's first reads. So it seemed like they figured, okay, White's out. They're going to have to put a lot of guys on Jamar. And that's exactly what happened.
yeah.
And
We
the other
got-
guy, everybody stepped up.
Riley was waiting for Devin to bring in the Tanner Hudson talk.
Here we go. So is the Tanner Hudson jersey on order now, Devin?
So okay, so let me
Yeah, good luck finding it.
said he's got to score. I will say that I did put my money where my mouth is, and I put a little bit on Tanner Hudson anytime TD. And when Drew Sample caught that, I saw the 8, and I got excited for half a second, but then I saw the 9, and I knew it was Sample. But look, we're talking about T and Jamar, and Boyd had a good night tonight, and obviously great wide receivers. But clearly, after tonight, we have the best tight end room in the NFL.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I really like Tanner Hudson's heady play. I mean, he just, being a former quarterback, he just understands where to be. And it's like I said, so much of it is just being in the right place at the right time. Gretzky has that famous quote about, some people chase the puck. The great ones go where the puck's going to be. They're not so, and I got the feel with Hudson tonight. So hey, that's the reason why we didn't go out and make a trade.
We've bashed him all year, but Irv Smith's catch in the end zone was a hell of a catch.
Yes, Irv Smith had it coming out. All the tight ends had a great game today. Jake, you pointed out, you said plus 1.5 on receptions for tight ends was plus 2,500.
No, that was me.
I think that was a joke.
Oh, okay. I was like,
because
I would have, anytime you have one position with a plus 1.5, I would probably have thrown some money.
Mark, what would you told you before the game? 2 different tight ends would score a touchdown tonight for the Bengals.
I would have said I wouldn't have believed 20, you. But if
25-1 sounds right.
Yeah, 25-1.
You don't
25-1 sounds about right.
That was a good catch.
You made it sound like it was a Sports Center play. It was a nice play.
No, but it was a great. I mean, it was a hell of a catch. I mean, he was
the last time Irv Smith was playing.
Put him in the Hall of Fame after what he's done the first 8 weeks of the season.
No. I'm not going to put a guy in the Hall of Fame who fumbles at the inside the 5. So, but no. Hey, tight ends. I think we have serviceable tight ends, especially Hudson showed himself today. So,
the sample touchdown was so funny. Like, that's such Bills. Like that. Like, how do you? That's such Bills. That's such Bills.
Yeah, you took a lot of heat in some of the comments. Some of the Bills fans didn't appreciate. Jake's got us all wrong. There was a lot of comments there.
Yeah. Oh, I'm the front. I'm not saying you guys. I respect your franchise. Maybe they'll circle back and watch our recap. Probably not, because they're worried about having to make the playoffs now at 5-4 and look like bums. But maybe if they do come back, sorry, I'm the bad guy for spewing bad news. The fact that you haven't played a good football game in over a month because half your defense is out. Like, sorry, and like your quarterback's not good enough to win with that. I'm sorry. Like,
well, and just how another quarter
like,
their defense tonight.
He's not good, and your coaching staff is just as overrated as your quarterback. I'm like, they actually showed Joe Brady multiple times, and I was like, damn, I wonder if Joe Brady wishes he was coaching the other quarterback on the other sideline. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah. So
they didn't blow him out like I predicted. They should have, but they didn't blow him out. But that doesn't make it feel just as good if they did blow them out. Because God, no, the snow. They can't beat us in no snow. Yeah. Fuck off, bro. Fuck off.
I teased the over at 43.5. It was 42. That not getting that McPherson field goal in the first half, I could have used that. So the only bad thing I got gambling wise, because I won the first half bet. I won everything else on the game. So
I went alternate line 9.5. It hurt me too.
So did you?
Yeah, but I will say, and I've talked about this for several weeks in a row now, this is going on 3, 4, 5 years. The Bengals are terrible at defending the tight end. Dalton Kincaid is going to be a great football player. He had a great night. And speaking of gambling, I had him over 4.5 receptions and over 36 yards. Like those were both easy plays.
Did you hit those by half?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
That's
actually,
sharp. That's sharp.
10 for 81. Dalton Kincaid, 10 for 81 on the day.
Yeah,
We always
said-
give up.
and
the play for
Dalton
the tight end.
Kincaid, 5 catches for 32 yards in the first half. So you weren't at your yards total yet, but you were at your catches. So you
But
were,
it's, but I will,
Devin,
it also goes to the point that you made, Jake, and I think the point I was making, I didn't make it well, and it doesn't matter, but he was the safety valve because we did make Allen work, and we did. You know, he didn't get a ton of sacks. We got the one turnover.
Yeah, if
Dalton Kincaid was the safety valve because we were in the defensive backfield, or backfield.
that was the biggest thing, and I think that we covered it well on Thursday. Was like people wouldn't believe me. Like they have one good weapon. Like they have Josh Allen and they have Diggs. Their offensive line's not good, so like you can't give Josh enough time in the pocket to go 1, 2, 3. It's one, and then he leaves the pocket. So yeah, he's going to throw a lot underneath to Kincaid, and the Bengals knew that. Like they don't have Emmanuel Sanders, they don't have Tristan McKenzie, they don't have that guy that can go deep. And I promise you, Gabe Davis is not that guy. Like it's just they.
Why do the Bills need the the Guardians pitcher? You mean Ike McKenzie or whatever?
Isaiah McKenzie. Sorry.
Devin, while I agree with you normally with regards to the tight ends, I mean, I think to the point that I think a lot of those Kincaid catches were, I mean, I only saw him downfield like once, if I remember correctly.
No, yeah, he averaged 8 yards a catch. Like that's below average, even for a tight end.
Yeah. Well, 2 positive things. First of all, we won our first Sunday night game. I didn't realize we hadn't won a Sunday night game with Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Really?
That's what it said. It was our first.
Well, they were only 0-1. They were.
Would have been last.
They only had one.
Yeah. Last year would have been our first when we beat the Bills, and then this is our first conference win because we had 4. So we pick up our first AFC win. We start stacking those. We'll be better in the tiebreaker. We've only lost 2 division games. We can flip that.
It's so early.
I know.
Still so early.
But if we're sitting there, let's just say, and Devin, you don't have any sound. You still with us?
Yeah, you don't hear me.
There you go. You weren't. So, with if we don't end up winning the division because we can't make up the ground on the Ravens, who aren't losing, this could be the tiebreaker between us and the Bills. You know, that knocks them out. So, all these games matter. Every game matters. So.
The Bills' schedule, we talked about on Thursday, the Bills' schedule gets even tougher.
Oh, yeah.
They're in trouble.
Yeah, just wait until they're 6-9 in week 16 and people come back to me and said, "Oh, you were right about the Bills."
Fired up son could very well actually be right about something.
There we go. We're getting this father, son, the archaic way of thinking. You guys are back.
Talk about sons.
Oh no, not archaic. It's medieval.
I was just about to ask mine. What you always look at the stats, Riley? What did you see? Anything jump out at you?
Nothing we haven't really covered. I mean, Mixon only had 37 yards on the ground, but had 31 through the air. So, I mean, we're using him the way we need to just change it up a little bit. I mean, change the entire script of our last couple of years with how much we use the tight ends, but nothing crazy other than the penalties. 6 doesn't sound like a whole lot, but when we've been averaging 3 or 4 a game, I mean, 6 for 49, that's not who we have been. And it can't, I mean, half of them came on one drive, but
I was going to say 3 were on the drive that cost us this points. So
how many sacks
same play.
How many sacks did we give up?
I don't think any.
1, I think just
I was thinking the same thing, Jake. That's the thing I was saying. 1. Back to it. We've been tough on the offensive line. We've been tough on the offensive line all year, and you're starting. I don't know. Somebody was Devin or Jake just said they've got to start gelling, and I'll tell you what, dude. you're starting to see it. You're not hearing anything.
I, I, I'm gonna like this is the only time we can say this the last 3 years. They set aside the coaching. I'm sure we'll get into that. If not on Thursday, they can win a Super Bowl with this offensive line.
Yes,
They can win the
100%.
Super Bowl with this offensive
Yeah.
line. They are playing well enough. That like
Go on the road and be
they've done such an unbelievable job with that group.
Look at the crap ass
With what
offensive
it
line
was
to the
when
Super
Burrow
Bowl.
came.
Yep.
So
Can I jump a couple of quick things?
go for it.
One, Jermaine Pratt always there to make a play. The punch
Oh, yeah.
out on
Oh yeah.
our red zone defense is absolutely disgusting. Again, stopped them in the red zone, field goals. And the other one I wanted to say, I don't know how many people listen to us that are in Cincinnati, but hats off to the Jungle Nation for the stripes. Loud coming in on national TV. It looked good. It's all over Twitter. They didn't blow it. They didn't talk about it that much on the broadcast, but they came out and they came hard and it was pretty kick-ass. So kudos.
And we
Yeah,
forced
I
the
will,
Bills to waste timeouts. We forced the Bills to waste a couple timeouts because they couldn't get their play set. Oh,
So
no, definitely helped.
one thing for me on the stripe the jungle, like I saw that on Tuesday and I was like, oh, if this doesn't work, this is gonna look like this is not gonna be fun. Pulling that off at an NFL stadium is incredibly challenging. Like teams can't do that. That like the fact that they pulled this off, this is not college where you just send a text notification to your entire student body and they're like, all right, we're in, we'll do it. Like doing that at an NFL stadium and relying on word of mouth to get that done is such an incredible thing to do. And I tweeted, I was like, pulling this off at an NFL stadium is incredibly challenging. Hats off. Has like 2,000 likes. Brad Robbins just liked the tweet, so he's now a friend of the show. Our
There you
guy,
go.
Brad Robbins, who might have had the best punt of his career in this game.
Tonight.
What's that?
Brad Robbins was great tonight, Heath.
Yes, he was.
Yes. Hey, you got that kick inside the 10 a couple times tonight. So 3 of them. There you go. I knew it was more than one. Hey, somebody in the comments wanted a jersey call out. So I happen to be sporting today. I'm wearing the Chad Johnson orange one, but I'm wearing the Chad Johnson because had Chase caught a touchdown, there was a planned celebration, and Chad Johnson said, I will cover your NFL fine. So we don't know what the celebration was because Chase didn't score, so it didn't happen. But I still decided to rep Chad tonight because he was willing to reach into his own pocket and cover the NFL fine. For
Well, Mark, I think Chase said it. He was going to grab the camera. Like Chase,
He was going
like
to do a replay
like
of
Ochocinco did, yeah.
of CJ's, yeah. So it's funny how the NFL fined Chad, but I'm looking right at a thing. You can't see it here, but I've got a 3 Chad picture, and one of them is him using the pylon as a putter, and he got fined for that. But the NFL took it, made a photo of it, and sold it, and made money off it. So and it's stamped right in the corner. It's an official NFL picture. So all his stuff that he did, they decided to profit off of while they were fining him. So I guess that's a good business model. Find the player and make money off the event. So
it's all for charity. So, you got to give it to him.
Hey, I always loved that being a golfer, that grabbing the putting pylon. That was one of my favorite celebrations. That and the CPR on the football. The CPR on the football was a good one too. So,
what I would do for a Jamar Chase, Randy Moss celebration where he just pretends to moon the fans.
there you go.
That'd be awesome.
Joe Buck on the call telling him it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Collinsworth, by the way, was awesome. Like Collinsworth was so funny. Like I think it's so funny. Oh, I mean, this guy, Josh Allen, the way
we got issues with Jake's
throws
wife.
the ball away. Oh, this guy is something else.
Hey,
Oh,
in
really?
your
I was doing
dorm
my
room-
Collinsworth impression.
In your dorms, do people like stream movies at night? Is that why your Wi-Fi is not as good right now? Because we're watching, people are watching Spider-Man's and different things.
I don't know. I'm in an apartment, so I don't know.
okay.
But I guess my Wi-Fi didn't like my Collinsworth impersonation.
There you go. So
But he was hilarious
Chad,
tonight, as always.
when Chad was inducted into the Ring of Honor, since I'm wearing the Chad jersey, we're talking about celebrations. When Chad was inducted, they did the interview when he showed up that week for the game. and they asked him if there was ever a celebration that he didn't get to do that he had planned. And he said that he had the It's Easy button from Staples. He had one of those under each end zone. And when he scored a touchdown, he was going to run over and grab the Staples. And I probably would have got him a Staples endorsement. I think he would have been able to monetize that. But that's the one celebration he never got to do.
I remember reading that one.
Yeah. So, and I'm trying, I can't remember who the DB was. His kid is playing. Patrick Surtain was the DB that he wanted to score against. Remember when he had the locker on his sheet, he had all the DBs that he had burned and he was crossing them off, the ones that he had scored off of as he scored each game. And Surtain was there and he was going to scratch it off, the easy button, but it never happened. So I think he did scratch Surtain, but he didn't get not on that game. So, but, just wanted to throw that out there. So we're in this jovial.
We're reaching here. We're reaching.
Gotta go finish up the roll call, and I got something I'm gonna finish with. So you guys, your jersey roll call.
Oh yeah, go for it. So Jake, what do you wear on?
Joey B. Well, Joey B. Joey B.
Then we gotta.
I think my next one.
Take a student loan out and get him some jerseys. That's what we've got to do is send him some. Dave, Heath, take care of your son. Come on. Clothe your kids properly.
I feel like my next one might be a Dax jersey. Like that might be my next one.
That was what I was thinking too, Jake. I'm going Dax.
Get a Michigan.
I want a Logan Wilson one.
I like
Logan Wilson.
And I don't have that number.
Like
I'll wrap up. Let me close on jersey. So if you've been following the show, you know the story with the shirt. This is my playoff shirt. I broke it out against, was it Arizona, where we needed the win?
Yes.
Yeah, Arizona. So I've worn this 4 straight weeks, has not been washed, will not be washed. I do have it's not a pre-win. I just checked. I will have a New Jersey debuting on the preview show.
Okay. All right. And that shirt, I want, when we're getting down to the last couple weeks of the season, I want that shirt to be so rank because you haven't washed it because we've won the whole time that it literally stands on its own. It'll look like it's fully bleached behind you, but it just won't have been washed for 4 months. So,
it's got some marinara on it tonight from Lou Malnati's for dinner, so it's getting
excellent. There. Excellent. And of course,
little which one?
Mesa. Oh, which pizza? Oh, the Chicago Classic, of course.
Of course.
You have Lou's there now?
Yeah.
We have them on. We have them sent in. They're frozen at the Goldman House.
We're here.
We don't have anything.
So
and
He's
by the way,
Gino. So that's for the jersey roll call.
I like it.
Oh.
We haven't talked about.
Well, or you're frozen.
He usually doesn't have a problem. It's bad.
Yeah, here we're gonna. I want to say something because I've been hard on Nick Scott. Okay, on the Pratt play where he punches out the ball, Nick Scott goes low, making Dalton Schultz elevate for Pratt to punch the ball out, and then Nick Scott makes the recovery. So welcome to the 23 season, Nick Scott. You finally made a big play. It was awesome. Let's start stacking the big plays, Nick Scott, because I've been extremely hard on him, and he was a big part of the Pratt forced fumble. So.
And don't for falling for the pump fake on the first touchdown. He's got to protect that.
Right.
The
fault for that. And he was able to get the 15-yard penalty because he was the brunt of the taunt. So,
Jake, you were going to say something. You froze. What were you going to say?
Yeah, the last.
Am I good? Am I good now?
Seem to be.
Okay.
Yeah. We haven't mentioned it, but we got a fun one on Sunday. We got a fun one.
Go ahead. Mention it.
CJ Stroud. Guy's balling up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Elite.
Yeah.
He looked really good today.
What was the record? He had a record today, but I don't know. I didn't hear what it was. What was it?
Most passing.
Yeah, he broke
470. Yeah.
Was wait, shit, who had it?
Luck.
It was recent.
And
Luck. Yeah, Luck.
Here's fun fact. Speaking of CJ Stroud, and it's AFC North related. In 8 games, CJ Stroud has more career passing yards and touchdowns than Kenny Pickett does in his 21 games.
There you go. There you go.
You know,
Oh
I'm
my
I'm
God.
a big Buckeye fan, so I sit here and watch the team right now, and you just forget how damn good he was last year. I mean, everybody's like, "Oh, Ohio State quarterbacks will never be good. They're never good in the pros." And I said, "Just wait. This kid is special. He can make every throw, and he puts. I mean, he just drops dimes. It's great to see."
Yeah, no, all good.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
all right, well,
You know, because when we were doing the San Fran thing, I tried to hype up Brock Purdy as much as I could. This week, it was the exact opposite. I think Josh Allen's the most overrated quarterback in the entire league. Thursday will be some fun with CJ Stroud. That's my guy.
no. All right. So, and I want to give Jake props because he did give us Kansas State and he did give us Arizona, and both were big winners. I know I had them on teaser cards that I laid up tonight on the Bengals. Those were games on my college card along with Alabama, some other things that I like. So, once again, tune into our previews. Jake gives you 2 nuggets. Tune into his gambling show. He gives you nuggets. When you can get winners, when you can spend 15 or 20 minutes and watch these shows and get winners, okay? You know, that's priceless. Priceless.
I'll say one more thing because I didn't mention it on the show, but I did put it out on Twitter. I before the Oregon-Utah game, Bo Nix, 24-1 to win the Heisman. He is now plus 130 to win the Heisman, and he will have a rematch versus Oregon against Michael Penix on December 3rd. And if he wins that game, he is the Heisman Trophy winner. And I gave it out on Twitter at 25-1.
There you go.
Those are my ducks. My ducks.
For those of us who are very strategic gamblers, when you bet something at 25-1 and it gets down to where it is now, he can hedge. You can bet
not hedging
the other ones but you can because you have so little at stake. You could turn around and say, I'll throw $50 on here just to make sure I win my 500. I don't know what your initial bet was, but I do that all the time.
It's actually really funny because so Penix and Nix are like around, it depends where you look, but like they're around like plus 160 a piece. The next person is JJ McCarthy at 7-1, who I think will struggle against Penn State on Saturday. But like that never happens. Like that game, if they do play, I think Washington might lose once, but they'll still make the title game. Like if those two do play, that game is literally going to be for the Heisman, which I don't think I've never seen it in my lifetime. Like that actually happening.
Can anybody
so like that'll be crazy.
We had 2 Heisman candidates play each other where literally the winner of that game was going to win Heisman.
We've for sure seen it in the regular season. I mean, you go back to the 2011 season in the Big 12, those guys faced off against each other every week. I mean, there was 5 Heisman candidates in the Big 12 in 2011.
But a late season game where that
like conference
the Heisman. I don't know that we've seen that.
It's very rare.
If they beat LSU.
What's that?
I don't think Tua was having that good of a season. I mean, but like Burrow probably would have won it even if they didn't go undefeated, if we're being quite honest.
Right.
Probably.
Well, Burrow put up some just ridiculous stats.
Yeah. If they went 11-1 and didn't even win the West, he was probably
how about Caleb Williams wanting to go home and hang with his dog after that loss?
Yeah, I saw your post about that. I had a big problem with him jumping in the stands and crying with his mom and not shaking anybody's hands on the other team more than
I didn't see that part. I just heard he was literally in his presser. They asked him the question. He's like, I just want to go home and lay with my dog.
Don't blame him, but yeah.
Hey, he plays Oregon next week. I'll take it.
14-point dog, and it's probably not.
You know what? So I was at a bar watching the first half of the game, and for whatever reason, they had ESPN on. Do you guys want to know what ESPN was airing during the Bengals game? ESPN was airing the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight from 8 years ago. So I was like, this is a good opportunity. So I tweeted and I said that ESPN really should be airing a football game right now. And I was like, all right, for the rest of the season, Sunday at 8 Eastern on ESPN should be the USC slot. Okay. USC should play Sunday at 8 the rest of the season. That's to be their spot.
So they're not going to win another game this year.
Maybe not.
I don't think so.
Fire their defensive coordinator, so maybe they've got a chance of doing something.
So next year, but they have an exciting offense. That's, like I said, it's a work in progress. I would say progress, not perfection. So,
but
it's football program, Mark.
It's like, what'd you say?
I said it's not U of A's football program.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, Yeah, like everyone's saying that like this is like the same Lincoln Riley team ever. Like this would be Lincoln Riley's third best team at Oklahoma. Like this USC team's not good.
But it's the
Like
same
this,
prolific offense, terrible defense.
right, correct. Yeah, but his Oklahoma defenses were never this bad.
Yeah.
They're never this bad.
And we talked about it, Jake. It's the same guy. He brought this clearly is his boy. He brought the guy with him from Oklahoma to SC and then fired him today.
Actually, if I'm not mistaken, he came from Ohio State.
He was at Ohio State too. He was at Ohio State before Oklahoma.
Yeah.
He took over.
Maybe Lincoln has
He took over from Mike
made a
Stoops.
mistake. Just like Zach brought Turner to coach the offensive line, and then finally said, "Okay, you know what? Let's bring Pollock back because Turner didn't know what the hell he was doing." So,
but nobody wanted that job. Like I feel like if Lincoln didn't want to bring Alex Grinch over, he could have gotten anybody he wanted. You know,
Let's see.
like
we have surely digressed on the Bengals.
we've digressed because this is a Bengal win.
We're doing a post-game show and
Post game, yeah, you go all over the place. So, all right, well. We do previews. Please subscribe. If you don't subscribe, it's a show by fans for fans. We're going to be doing a preview either this Wednesday or Thursday. I don't know. We changing the schedule, but if you hit the bell, you'll know when we did the preview. But it's always up by Thursday, and we do recaps right after the game, even when they're the Sunday night game. We do recaps right away. We've got 2 people on the East Coast that are staying up late. It's midnight. We're keeping these 2 students. They'll be grogging at class tomorrow, but they're dedicated to the show. So please support.
Practice tomorrow. I don't have class.
All right. Well, hey, come on. I had sympathy going for you. It was working. So, Jake, tell them
I
where
have
they
10
can find
a.m.
your
practice. It's worse.
Jake, tell them where they can find your podcast.
Jake Circus podcast Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Gambling show's going to come back next week. Tune in tomorrow afternoon where I will be spewing nothing but propaganda about my favorite quarterback, Josh Allen.
There you go. And then Riley, tell them where they can find you on the app formerly known as Twitter.
However you want to refer to it, Twitter, X, whatever it is, at Sportsball with 3 L's. I'm going to start posting again, just general sports content, sports news, whatever's happening.
There you go. We enter the 3rd quarter of the season next week. We were 4-0 in the 2nd quarter. Let's keep this train rolling. We'll be back with the recap Wednesday or Thursday this week. And I'm going to say, hoo-day, everybody.
Hoo-day.
Hoo-day.
Take care.
Good day.